What's good, beautiful people? This is the Be Good to You podcast, and I am Clay Hodges.
I'm Ayana Sala.
And I'm Corey Antonio Ellison Jr.
What?
Run that back, DJ. Run that back.
And I'm
What?
Corey Antonio Ellison Jr.
There you go. Say your name with pride, son.
Oh, my bad. Corey Antonio Ellison Jr.
And we got a very special guest in the building. My
Yes,
boy
we do.
Trill, man.
They said Trill made that.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Trill
Yes, sir.
made
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
Sir.
sir.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Happy to be back in Savannah for real, for real.
Man, for those who don't know, Trill is a very, very talented producer. And I'm amazed. Like, why we ain't do nothing yet, bro?
That's a good question.
That's a great
That's
question.
a great question.
But before we go there, I talked to her about that a while ago.
Yeah?
You did?
Long
About
time.
recording?
About working with him a long time ago.
Oh, I got short-term memory loss. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It was a
man.
while ago.
Divine time, though. Divine time.
It is, man.
Divine
We here
time.
right
We
now.
here right now,
here.
We
baby.
here right now.
We here right
Face
now.
to face.
Man,
Which
face
is
to
better.
face, man. Trill, how you
Yeah.
feeling? How you been being good to yourself, my guy?
Man, being good to myself.
Yeah.
Working out.
Okay.
Being healthy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Just learning more about myself, man. Just learning more about like mental health and just how I can be good to myself in general. Just loving myself for real, for real.
Nah, I feel that, bro.
That's dope.
Man, what's something that you learned about yourself that surprised you?
Good or bad or good.
Just regardless, bro.
Regardless, the one thing I learned about myself is that I can handle whatever comes my way.
Right. See, and life will show you that because it throw all kind of shit to you.
Right.
And it's like, well, I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got it.
Yeah, I gotta tell myself that sometimes too, though.
Right.
It does get hard, but gotta let me through.
That's what
I
I'm talking
handle it.
about.
Yeah.
What about y'all? How y'all been being good to yourself?
Freddy, go ahead.
I just been chilling. I mean, I said I was gonna take a break from working, but it's like people like my past clients that I like to work with. Like we did a couple of photo shoots this week actually, and it turned out pretty good. So I really just want to work and just collaborate with people, just work with people, and not even for the money, just kind of just see where everybody at, and then just kind of figure out how much I should expect from certain people. Like, oh, okay, she's not gonna pay because she don't got money right now. She's working. Because with my job, I still work with people who like have a real life. You know what I mean? So it's just like a grind. And I'm pretty sure with everybody, with all of us.
Facts.
So it's just like I gotta work with them a little bit, and then it's like, all right, let's do the real project, and then we can do what we need to do. But I've been good, just working.
Nah, I feel
So
that.
that's what's up.
What about you, Yana?
I've been amazing. I do like this thing where I ask people from like a 1 to a 5, how you feeling? Like 1 being the lowest, like 5 being the highest. I'm at a 5. Like I'm good.
That's
What
amazing.
I've been doing lately. I've been equally pouring into other people and equally pouring into myself. Like I'm able to like really understand what I could do, what
Right.
I'm capable of doing for others and myself. So yeah, I'm good.
Man, for
I'm great.
sure.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful, man. I had to take these
Feeling good.
headphones off, boy. These joints is staticking on me, boy. But yeah,
Mercury retrograde.
you right. Retrograde. But yes, so me, y'all, I've been embracing myself. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I'm a boss, man.
Period.
I'm a boss, and I got an
that.
energy that I'm able to. I attract really dope people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm in a space where I have a vision, and I have to. I wouldn't necessarily say lead people in my vision, but it's like I have an idea of something, and I have an idea of how to reach the idea. And me embracing myself is like owning that. Because when I first was getting into that space is when we were first starting the whole Be Good to You thing. And I was not fully embracing it. I was afraid to lean on my friends, afraid to lean on y'all. And I failed a lot in that space, but now I'm learning why I failed. It's because I didn't embrace who I was in that moment and own it. You know what I'm saying? And be confident in that. And it's okay. So that's how I've been being good to me. Like, I've been embracing my position, you know, and my space.
I love that. But, you know, one thing I got to ask you is, do you feel like it's a failure if you're in this moment able to reflect on where you were versus where you are and you're able to arrive?
Truth
Is
be
it a
told,
failure?
It wasn't a failure because I was doing the best with
What you
the
had.
space I was in. But I lacked the confidence. I didn't have the confidence, you know, and that's where, you know, you know how we are. We be hard on ourselves.
100%.
Because it's really not a failure, but it's just like, damn, bro, you was being a little B word, bro. Like, you know how it be, man.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, boy.
Hey, man.
Man, it's like being a little B word.
I feel that. What I just told one of my homegirls yesterday, it's so ironic. Everything we do is like all connected. So yesterday I told my friend, I was like, I want to catch up with myself. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, I feel like sometimes my body goes before my spirit and other times my spirit goes before my body, but I want to go together.
Right.
And so what you just said was you had to take time to realize throughout your habits and your patterns that, damn, I was kind of being a little, you know, not as confident, and I was being the AKA B word. So if you were in present moment and you were in tune with self, you would have been able to catch it right then and there and like, you know what, I'm not doing this the best way. I need to like maneuver.
Right.
So it's like for us, I feel like all of us, what we're doing is we're learning how to like balance, and we're also learning how to like be in sync with ourselves.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? In real time.
In real time.
Because you don't want to do a whole bunch of like fumbling and then like you don't have any more chances to fumble.
Yes.
Nah,
You
for
feel
real.
me?
Right.
Like you want to get it now, sharpen
Yeah.
that. So when it's time to really, really, really take off, it's like I got all the tools I need. I have everything I need within myself. So like I just trust myself.
No, that's facts.
Yeah.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like, man, I just fumbled the bag. I ain't got no more chances. But
Yeah.
nah, it's beautiful that, you know, like you say, it wasn't even about chances. Like I work with genuine people. I work with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And like it's like, yeah, we moving, we working. You know what I'm saying? We getting it done.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing before we move on? It's on my
Go
spirit
ahead.
to say. So oftentimes when I think about y'all too, because I definitely consider y'all like my lifelong friends, like one thing I can say about us is like we are committed to being friends. Like we want to be friends.
Right.
Because if we didn't want to be friends, I'm sure that something could come and like kind of knock us off being friends and stuff. I see that a
Facts.
lot. Like it'd be stupid shit. And people be like, oh yeah, she didn't text me back, so we're not friends no more. Are you dumb?
Right.
But it's like if you want to be friends with somebody, if you want to have a relationship, whether it be business, personal, in between, like if you're both committed, it's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
you could fall short, you could feel like you failed or whatever, but the person could see the greater in you and be like, you know what, they just learn. It's a learning curve. I'm gonna be committed to this friendship.
Nah, that's real.
So yeah,
That's
definitely got
real.
some genuine people in your life.
Nah,
Cause we
dude.
want to be.
Exactly. You feel
yeah.
me? I appreciate. I'm so appreciative though.
Yeah,
I'm so
likewise.
appreciative.
Likewise.
And that was deep.
Yeah, we listen. We coming in with
Man. Man, Trill, man, we in for a treat, man. We
Absolutely.
so thankful to have you, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here,
I
man.
hope you getting ready. This is the warm up because we're gonna dive into you in a minute,
We
sir.
I'm ready, man.
That man say he ready for whatever. He
Yeah,
just
I'm
said
ready,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Man, so we're gonna go to the entrepreneur spotlight, and
Who we got?
I want to shout out Miss Dream Smith, man. Shout out to you, Dream.
Shout out.
The reason why I want to shout out Dream because I met Dream and she was doing her thing with Book Nation of Dreamers. And
Still is.
Yes, she still is. But in the space that when I met her, she had motion, but it's not like it is now. You know what I'm saying? She was figuring some things out. She was getting the groove of things.
Yeah.
She was getting the team together. Well, she had the team together, but they was
Yeah.
getting everything together. Now it's
On fire.
It's on fire. It's on a whole nother level. And it's beautiful to witness her journey from then to now and to what it's going to be. And for those who don't know, the Book Nation of Dreamers is a nonprofit organization. Her goal is to help and encourage our people, the youth, the children, to be literate because the literacy rate is not where it need to be at. So she's advocating for that. She has a lot of different programs, a lot of different resources, and she is definitely the book plug. Like, if it's a book that you trying to get your hands on, bro, hit Dream up, bro. She can get that for you. You feel me?
Seriously.
Yeah, and she got the Juneteenth festival coming up, you know what I'm saying? The Be Good to You Foundation is a partner in that as well. So, you know, y'all stay tuned for that Juneteenth festival. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff coming.
I'm excited. Shout out to Dream. I think I met her at Lana's going away party, and she looked at me and she was like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I told her like who I was, and she just gave me a hug, and I was like, "I don't even know sis, but like
Right.
that's family." So ever since then we've been locked in. So she's a definite like a jewel, a gem. She is one of one. So shout out to Dream Smith with book Nation of Dreamers. I'm looking forward
Yes.
to the Juneteenth Youth Explosion.
Yes.
It'll be that Saturday, June 17th at Daffin Park from 1 to 5. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of books, we were just talking about Book Dreamers of Nation.
Uh-huh.
Book Nation Dreamers. Anybody reading any books?
Yeah. Anybody around here reading any books right now?
Yeah, I just started a new one.
What
What's
you
that?
got, bro?
No More Mr. Nice Guy.
What
I
that's
need
about?
to read that.
So it's basically about just nice men who really aren't that nice, and it's not about like not being a nice guy anymore. It's just about being nice and kind to yourself and stop overcompensating for other people and not doing the same thing for yourself.
Right. That's
So
real,
it's really
right?
been
Though.
dope. Kind of been speaking to me. That's why I've been reading it so much, honestly.
Man,
I
I
like
need
that.
that.
I need to read that.
Man, I need that right
It's
there.
a dope
boy.
book. I definitely recommend it, honestly. Yeah.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I feel that. I haven't read any books lately, but I've been letting people borrow my books, and I'm about to stop that habit because they don't give them
They
back.
don't give them back.
They don't give
Look,
them back.
I let somebody hold a book. I ain't even cool with them no more, bro. I ain't gonna probably ever get my book
Yeah,
back.
same for me. I gave somebody
Bruh.
a book. It was called Creating Money or something. It's a purple book. I had to go and buy another same book because I'm
Trill
like, bro,
laughing.
like, why do people do that?
Oh my god.
Bruh.
I'm finishing books.
Yeah, me too. But when I learned about myself is sometimes it's not really the book that I'm not. It's not that I'm not interested. It's like my attention span. So I'll probably get on YouTube or I'll go to like the Nook app and I'll just do the audio and I'll just let it just go.
That is
But the
100% my
last
favorite
book I
way.
loaned out was Who Moved My Cheese, and I want my book back.
Man,
I've read that book many times, but
Bruh.
I want my shit back.
I
Whoever got
feel
that
you,
book,
bro.
just return that.
Yeah, return the sender. I'm
For
gonna
real,
start.
for
I'm gonna
real.
start charging. Like I'm gonna get your social.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
facts.
get your card number.
We getting
and
your
then-
credit.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm putting you in collections, bro.
Man, for real,
My shit back.
With that
Yana. Like,
blockbuster late fee.
Yeah.
right.
For real.
That was the last. This is the last straw. Like legit, nobody is ever holding a book. When this person was asking for a book, I was like, "Nah, I can't get it to you. I don't loan out books." And I wasn't trying to be mean, but I was. Then you know, what I'm saying? I was like, "Here, you can hold
Somebody
this
else
book."
did it.
Huh?
Somebody else did it like after.
No. This person asked to hold a book at first, and I was like, "Nah, I don't loan out books. I don't get them back."
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Then I was like, "You know what? This person, all right, here, you can hold this book." And I probably ain't gonna get it back.
That's that blow, man.
No
I'll
more.
get it back. Tell me the address. I'll go get it back in blood. Give my motherfucking man book back,
Yeah,
man.
man,
Yeah.
come on, man. Please give me my book
On
back.
Bit Jesus.
But I just got done finished Viola Davis's book, Finding Me. Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't.
You
Thank
didn't?
you. Thank you for okay.
Man, her story is so inspiring, y'all. Like what she been through to how she got to where she is. Like it's
I gotta check it out.
yeah.
You said that the
I heard
first
some good reviews
line.
about that.
Yes,
So, yeah,
bro.
Definitely that's happening.
But she
You
man,
said the first line was
she
what?
she got you on the first line. That's
Do you
all
mind
I'm
telling
saying.
her you don't
I'm
want
not
to?
gonna tell you.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
just
No
know
spoilers.
anybody out there when you read it, when y'all read it or hear it, y'all gonna laugh and be like, okay, I see why he said that.
I'm gonna check
She
it
gonna
out.
get you the first line, just hook and sinker.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's my next book. What's the name of the book again?
Finding Me.
Finding Me by
Finding
Viola
Me.
Davis.
Viola Davis, my lady.
Is it Ego or EGOT?
She's an EGOT winner.
EGOT status.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that the book she won a Grammy for it this year.
Lit.
Yep,
that's hard.
yep.
More
The
reason to read
audiobook.
it.
Right.
More reason to read it.
You feel me? Boy, don't
Freddie,
play
what you
with
been
it.
reading? You said you ain't finished, but
The happiness trap. It's like activities in between.
mm-hmm.
So it's like you gotta write stuff out and be like, what do you feel like you felt the most at? What do you feel like you you know? And it's
Oh,
like
wow.
it kind of teaches you how everything is about emotions and happiness is just a phase. Like you're not always gonna be happy. There's never gonna be a period you're just happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a feeling of happiness that just goes through you, and it's how to keep reaching that feeling.
Right.
basically. So But yeah, I
Absolutely.
haven't finished it yet. I just take what I learned from that day. I'm like, oh, I feel so good. And
Yeah.
then I just don't come back to it for like another 2 or 3 weeks.
But that's not a bad thing though. Honestly, to me, I feel like it's a good thing. You use it. You read it when you need it. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
Like, I
Yeah.
feel that.
That's
I
like
feel
my
that.
journal. Instead of like journaling, I just follow whatever activity next. Like, go do this.
I like
and
that.
Just pause it, and I go back. Because I do audiobooks, I can't read. My attention span is just like...
Yeah.
just
That's
like
my
a
main
text.
source for real.
Yeah.
Audible.
See, my thing is though, when I get into that space with a book, I just kind of feel like that might not be the time or space for me to read that book.
Yeah.
Cause it's a book
Yeah.
like I've been trying to read, like The Hero with Many Faces. Like it's my second time trying to read it, and it's like it's just not sticking with me. And I hear a lot of people was like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite books. This book is so great," and I'm like, "Bro, like it's not it
Yeah.
for me."
It's not time.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
valid.
That's real.
yeah, and I'm starting to realize I like stories more. I like autobiographies or biographies. I like stuff that has a story.
Yeah. I
like
feel
stuff
that. I saw somebody say, like, we have to, when it comes to attention span specifically, we need to read more, like, fiction. Like, read more, like, either sci-fi or, like, action, suspense, or something that's,
Right.
like, very creative, like, something that's more so on the youthful side, because it'll help with your creativity and your attention span, because you're, like, on edge. As
Right.
opposed to, like, you don't want to, like, self-sabotage by doing all the self-help or things like that, because it's like every part of your life does not need to be fixed or helped or healed. So we have to like tap into like the childlike parts of us that just wants to explore. So I've heard that helps with attention span, reading fiction or like really suspenseful action based stories and novels, because it'll just help that balance.
Right.
So that's what I've been like with because I purchased like hella books. I don't know if it's just like an aesthetic thing for me, but like I need to stop buying self-help books.
Bruh, me
Or
too.
stop buying, well, I guess it still is self-help, like creating money, like budgeting, finance stuff. Like
Yeah.
I do a lot of those type of books, but it's like, okay, sis, you gonna get to the millions. You need to
Right.
be over here with some creativity.
Back with
So
some Harry Potter.
All I got is educational
Yeah.
self-help books, so I feel you on that.
yeah,
one.
it just balance
The
it
balance.
out. Yeah, balance it
Yeah.
out.
She told me the same thing. She said I got to get the sci-fi books
Yeah.
or something like that. That
It's
keep me
kinda-
wanting to read it.
Right. It's kind of like watching TV. It's like we gonna watch documentaries all day.
I kind of
like-
do.
I kind of like.
I ain't gonna lie, that's
documentaries,
my
though.
favorite thing. Not
That's a
horrible
little
example.
Some of us are like, nah, fuck, nah, really, we can watch it all day.
all day, all day. I was on the phone last night. I was like, all right, I'm about to watch my documentaries. I gotta go. So yeah,
I feel documentaries do be hitting though.
that shit hit
Right.
because it's real.
Bro, what's a good
Sir.
documentary y'all seen?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I do.
I do.
The best documentary I've seen so far is about, it's no name. I watch them on like DW, YouTube. It's like a German like broadcast. But they do like, but it's about how China basically sells body parts of like prisoners.
Oh
So
shit.
you get a transplant in China in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, for
Like, if
real?
you call today,
Of prisoners.
of prisoners, yeah.
So you
What's
break
the
the law.
protocol? Like prisoner that's like on death row that just
Yeah.
died
And
natural
they put a lot of people on
causes.
death row.
Oh, just so they can get
Oh,
the
so
body
it's streamlined.
It's
It's like it's a
market-
system.
It's like a company. It's like a thing. It's a
Oh,
business.
damn.
Wow. I'm not surprised though.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
it's not surprising for sure.
Damn, I mean,
wow.
would you want a killer's liver?
Huh?
Would you want a killer's liver?
What's the difference of a random liver? You
Is
don't
it
know
healthy?
the
Does
person's.
somebody
Oh no,
Like
they're
that?
healthy because they're like it's like super it's like Uyghurs of China, like the people. The name of the people are called Uyghurs. They're like Muslim, so they have like a strict diet.
Diet.
And all of that. And they work out.
Ah,
So and it's another group. I forgot what it's called. Just don't quote me on it. But it's definitely in China, and
Wow.
they definitely use the prisoners and use all of their body parts whenever they. Like, they'll tell, some people will sit there until somebody wants their organs.
oh wow.
It's, yep, they definitely harvest organs.
Jesus.
Dang.
So you get
Sheesh.
dark. Y'all didn't want to.
He did warn us. He said, y'all don't want to know.
No, I definitely. I'm about to
did
go
have a
down a
warning.
rabbit hole.
Oh, snap.
I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. Like stuff like that. I'm just so intrigued now. And it's raining outside right now. Man, please. I'm about to go home, rub my feet together, and watch that.
Boy.
Type in Chinese government harvest organs and it'll
God
pop up.
dang.
Wow.
I'm not watching that.
That's kind of.
I'm not watching.
That's
that
low
either.
key. I know I'm going off the radar a little bit, but that's low key the reason why like TikTok and other like channels are not being like promoted as much as it could, because a lot of truth speaking is happening across the globe, and it's just like we have to control y'all because y'all will do a freaking what is it called when the country
Revolution?
not revolution
Cool.
it's called something uprooting. I forget what it's called. Pretty much like a rebellion. Uprising. Thank you. So yeah, because like if the more we know, because a lot of the information is in books, like we say. So the more we know, the better it is for us. But I don't think people want that. But we gonna just stop right there, because it's the Be Good to You podcast. Right. Speaking of Freddie.
Yes.
You got some bouquet for us. You got a nice bouquet.
This is the first time this season that I'm giving out my flowers with Freddy. And I know it's just the first time, but I gotta give them their flowers again. And I already done shouted them out. And it's Flajay Johnson.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I feel like she's
Shout out,
a
Flajay.
huge impact. I don't care if you like deliver trash and put it in the back of the truck. I feel like she inspired everybody, like
no cap,
in the city. Like, I'm so happy they giving her like her own like bypass. What is it, Montgomery
Crossroad, and I believe Abercorn. The right there on the 4-way, I believe. Stop. So
whenever I find out where she's gonna be, she's definitely gonna receive the flowers from Be Good to You, because I feel like she's just been doing a lot for the community. Like,
absolutely.
Just following her dreams.
Yeah,
like following your dreams is doing a lot for the community.
Right.
People don't know that, but
that's a word. That's a word.
Like especially in Savannah. So yeah, that's who I'm gonna give my flowers with Freddy for the first time this season.
Shout out.
Shout out to her, man, for real.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
And congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Right. She deserves it. Yeah, she and do. I also want to just to extend the, like I said, bouquet. Like, I want to give a shout out to her mom who put that seed in her, as an infant, because it could have been a whole different path. You feel me? So it's like that level of like discipline, leadership, respect, understanding. And I also want to give a shout out to the state rep who made that intersection renaming, which is my uncle, Carl Gilliard. So it's like I just feel
that he was behind that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he was the one who put it in the state board as far as state representatives
that makes sense,
to pass it. So it's like that made me feel good, because like shout out to my grandma, East 34th Street, around the corner from Delaware Center. When we would cook, she would cook for the neighborhood, and like I'm talking about Lil John. Excuse me. When Camouflage would come in town, if he was out in Atlanta or something, when he came back, he would come to my grandma's house and she would feed him, and she would do certain stuff. My uncle was right there with peer pain breakers and all that. So it's just beautiful for a young kid like myself, seeing that like up close and personal, and then seeing his seed be a recipient of all the hard work that he put in. So it's like, absolutely, like you said, anybody in the city, like it's a holiday, a celebration. Right. It feel different in the city.
Right.
So
man, you know what? Buddy from the Pope got drafted to my team too.
Who?
What his name?
Nolan.
What's his last name? Smith. Nolan Smith.
He got drafted, I saw that. It's just beautiful stuff happening.
Oh yeah!
Shout out Nolan Smith got drafted to my Eagles. EAGLES Eagles.
That's gonna be the soundbite.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, boy. Yeah. We went in the Super Bowl.
Y'all really have a huge chance.
It's lit.
A huge chance.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Wow. Freddie is a professional hater. Like, he gets paid for this. This man funny. Back to the script.
But no, seriously though, like that's lit. Shout out to Flajay. Shout out to everybody out here. Like you said, if everyone was just to follow their dreams,
right,
it's better for the ecosystem, right?
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody had their assignment and they did that, it would be so much better for the world.
It would. I definitely agree. Highly.
So do what God sent you to do.
Yeah.
Worry about you. Worry about your lane. Stay in your lane. Do your thing. Speed as fast as you want in your lane.
Yeah.
But be in your lane.
Nah, that's big old facts, man.
Yeah. So moving forward, I got the beautiful vernacular with Ayana Sala. Somebody dropped this on me today. Y'all may know this. I may be late to the party. I'm a pull it up real quick. But she told it to me, and she was so effortless when she said, I'm like, you think you Ayana Sala? Like, come on
now.
She said something. I gave her an example, and I was telling her about like the inverse and adverse, and I was like, if this was the situation, if that was the situation, she was like, your dichotomy is such and such
I
and
know what that
such.
mean.
And I said, I'm sure I heard this, but I ain't never heard this. So go
I
ahead and
got
take
this
a
one.
stab at it.
I don't have to. I know what that means.
Okay, so who else want to take a stab at the word dichotomy?
I'm gonna let y'all do it. I know what this means.
Okay, so
I
you
used it on the album.
really? Which one? Be good to you?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. This is very full circle
Right
then.
after duality.
That's crazy.
Dichotomy.
Dichotomy.
sounds
What you
like,
think that mean?
Um,
I just gave you an example of what I told her.
oh, what you say it again?
Like the way
I'm
you
not
speak.
Ah, you
man
don't listen.
funny.
Like the way you speak.
What
It's
you
in that
mean?
ballpark.
I need
However,
to
is what I
advance
was
it more
saying.
time to
Freddy,
think.
Freddy, I'm about to make you feel bad. You was in the room when this man said the word, and I was like, what was that? And he broke it down to us.
Was I there too?
You remember we was in the room with Clay. Shout out to Clay, man. He's a therapist. We was in the room with him talking, and he dropped the word
That's a long
dichotomy
time.
on us, and we all looked at each other and was like, what the fuck is that?
Dichotomy, is it like a...
I just pretty much gave you the answer.
I don't know, just tell me.
Okay, you wanna take a chance at it, or you?
I already gave my one guess.
Okay.
The way you speak.
Man. Dichotomy is...
Damn, he Ayana
This is
Salah.
great. This is great because I finally get
he's
it right.
Ayana Salah.
I always
He's
get it
Ayana
wrong,
Salah.
yo. I always get it wrong, guys. This is right. This is great.
Okay, go ahead, Ayana Salah.
So dichotomy is, it's like versatility. It's like all parts of you. It's not one part of you. Like she could meditate and twerk if you knew her like that. It's like you can do this and you can do that. You know, it's like showing the way we used it. He's like, you got to express your dichotomy. That's like the different parts of you. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what dichotomy means.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with it, because that is technically it. I'm gonna read the Webster's dictionary to give context to what you're saying, because I can see my example was different, but I feel you because it's on the same brand. So dichotomy is a division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. So the example I use, there's someone who pretty much is like acting in a way where it's like you crashing out, and I was like, if they were operating in their as their higher self, they would be able to see that they benefited this project, and they can see this project continue to grow and prosper whether they're a part of it or not. That's you operating your higher self. But if you operate in your ego, you're going to want this to crash and burn because you're not a part of it. So she was like, I like the dichotomy of how you compare both of those things, her ego versus her higher self. So technically, yeah, because it's all a part of you, your ego and your higher self is all within you. It's about what you want to drive the car. So yeah, shout out. I ain't never had nobody win, so I don't know what I'm supposed to give you.
You know what? Yeah.
I should give y'all something.
I want some 100% pineapple juice.
I got you.
That sounds really good.
Yes.
That sounds really good.
I got you. I'm sipping on some 100% pineapple juice, and usually I bring like everybody's stuff, but I was rushing today. But that's what I'm gonna get you some. A big old glass bottle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like it
glass
cold
bottle?
or room temperature?
Cold.
Okay.
You know, like it chill.
No pulp. This is from the glass. This from that big ass glass when you get from like Brighter Day or Publix.
Oh,
Yeah.
She paid $8 for that.
I did.
I know what you talking about.
I got you though.
She
you
paid
know?
some good money, boy. Look here.
I got you. Shout out to you for winning the first ever vernacular with Ayana
Boy,
Sala. We've been
look.
doing this for 2 seasons. Anybody ever won?
Boy, always getting it wrong.
Always getting it wrong.
Always get it wrong, bro. It don't make no sense.
I'm proud of you.
A whole lot of full circle moments going on for Clay right
Yeah.
now, man. Love to see it.
It is,
That's
man.
lit.
This is divine. This reminds me of the time when I was a little boy and I was watching.
You always got a story.
I do.
Right. This is around it. Okay, old grandpa.
Man, y'all remember, I think it was either A Little Curious. A little curious.
I was born
just
95.
A little curious. But anyway, it was one of those HBO shows for kids, right?
What year was this?
I don't remember. I was in elementary school.
Oh,
All I know is
Yeah,
that.
no, I wasn't born then.
All I
Cartoon
know.
Network or
All I
Nickelodeon,
know is
I wasn't
that.
on it.
You what?
I'm sorry, listen.
First of all, we all around the same age.
No, sir, you're in your
was all
30s.
Born in the. I'm 30.
You're in your 30s.
And what you is?
I'm 26.
Exactly.
wow. She's kind of.
You was born in the 90s. You was born in the 90s. You was born in the 90s too, right?
Yeah.
You was born in the 90s too. 90s. We all 90s babies in here. So the show that I'm talking about, y'all was alive when this was on.
Sure. Jan.
Yeah. Y'all remember the show with the lions and anyway. They was just saying that, you know what happens when you yarn? And they was like, what happens when you yarn? Your body's not getting enough oxygen. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's weird, but it's great. And then I went to school the very next day, and our principal came in our class and was like, can anybody tell me why we yarn? I have $1 for anybody who can answer that. And everybody raised their hand. I raised my hand. I was like, bro, please call on me. And then he called on everybody but me. And I'm like, bro, please don't say the answer. Then he finally called on me. I said it the most scientific way. Your body's not, us and your brain's not getting enough oxygen. And everybody was like, how the fuck you know that? And he was like, here? He didn't even know how I knew it.
So he didn't have no faith in y'all. Sound like
He
me.
didn't, but I knew the answer.
Wow. You can't do that nowadays. Kids
Right.
know a lot.
They do. They do. Boy, I be
all
on the
got Google
phone
on
with
their
him.
phone.
And his daughter be saying the most biggest words ever, boy.
Yeah. She's a genius.
She is, bro. I be like, how she know that word, bro? I be like, bro, did she just say onomatopoeia?
This is the disaster.
I
How does she know
love
it's
when she
disaster?
said that. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, she
She
is
is-
like literally the coolest.
That was so funny. She was like, disaster.
She should do a vernacular.
And I was like, bro.
episode. So basically, what you told us that story so that I can give you $1 and some pineapple juice. You want
Nah,
$1?
I was just saying that it was divine, you know. I knew the answer because of something else.
Another like experience.
Yeah,
That's lit. Life is the best teacher.
it is.
Facts.
Life is the best teacher.
Yeah, that leads into my words of wisdom and also the topic, and I'm gonna get into it. My words of wisdom is that like life is the best teacher, and from my experience, my life has been a lot more peaceful when I submitted to the flow of life versus having ideas of how things should be and trying to make it be that. Like it's so much easier when you allow things to be, and I'm not saying that we have to be in spaces that we're not comfortable in for a long time, because there's a saying that we can't control what necessarily come our way. We can control how we react to it, and how you react to certain situations dictate inevitably the type of situational environment that you end up being in. So, you know, for me in my life, I just been really submitting, if I'm real. Like how in my mind I've always just wanted to do music. My whole entire life I wanted to be a rapper. My whole entire life. I remember 5th grade, they asked her, what you want to be? What you want to be? Everybody said rapper, of course. But I said it, and it was genuine. It was real, God damn it. It was real for me. And the teacher was like, you could be anything, Clay. Why you want to be a rapper? I'm like, because I want to be. But that's all I ever wanted to do and be.
That's lit.
I never seen nothing else. But because I'm doing my music, I need to make music videos. So then I start doing it. And then I meet people like Freddy, who's like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's try it. You know, we're collaborating and we're doing more and more. And then I get the idea of doing Fat Vegan, and then that happens. And then, you know, me and Freddy going back to the drawing board again, and we had given them videos a more cinematic feel now. Then it's like, you know what, bro? Like, I think we could make movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I never seen my life leading me into this direction. And as I'm submitting to it, it's not like I can't still do what I'm doing. Like everything I've done in music and everything I've learned in music is helping me with what I'm doing in film. And I see a way to combine it in a new and creative way that's just going to make it explode. So I'm saying this and sharing my story just to say that, like, you never know what God leading you, you know? And I think it's important for us to be open to the direction. because I mean, for the longest, you know, even when I first felt the pull to get more into film, I resisted it. I was angry. I was frustrated. Like, why is this working more than my, you know, because I had an idea of what it was, and I didn't see the full picture, you know. But when I submitted and things just started to working out, it's beautiful, man. And it's more than I could ever imagine. And I just want to encourage the people out there, if you're feeling that way, you might be experiencing that, you know, just submit to the direction of God, submit to the direction of the universe, divine, however you subscribe to the higher power. Submit to that direction and just watch how wonders work in your life. And that leads us into our topic and our discussion. And I want to go and holler at you, Trill, you know, because you had a journey with what you doing and producing and making your music and, you know, in your direction. And I just want to get into that. If you can kind of, you know, share, like, how'd you get into it? And if you can relate to anything I said, like, it was there a way in which you felt God was pulling you in a direction and you had to submit to that to get to where you are now?
Before I even get into that, first of all, bro, I love that because I actually feel that 100%, bro.
Right.
We're not one dimensional, none of us, bro.
Right.
So whatever we're doing is gonna lead us to something else anyway.
Facts,
You
bro.
feel me? But for me, I can't say I always wanted to do music. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do.
Wow.
My whole life, I played football because I was kind of bigger. So my family just was like, hey, play football. You know what I mean? So so once I stopped playing football, like at a later age, I kind of like started figuring it out. But
Right.
I think around 2008, my brother had always made music. My brother's my biggest inspiration for music. My brother had made music when I was younger. Like music was always dope. In 2008, I was like, my brother makes beats. Let me see if I can make beats. Man, I hopped on the computer, trash.
Right.
Put it down for years. But then like I got hurt in college playing football, and then I don't know. I just randomly like I was back at home, and the job where I was working was cool, but like something was like God was like try music again.
Wow.
You know, and I got into it. Man, I want to say like right before I went back to school to Valdosta State, I had played some of my beats for my brother, and this is what started it all. My brother told me straight up, he said, "Bro, you can be better than me."
Wow.
Like he like when I play him my music, he called his homeboys up and was like, "Bruh, my little brother got it." Like,
Yeah.
and that was like all inspiration that I needed for real, because he was my inspiration to do it anyway, way back then. So like,
That's lit.
it really, I got to give it to God, man. That's why I say thank God for growth, because honestly, bro, and even like it's a lot of stuff that like has been going on. That's the reason why in 2019, like I stopped caring so much about trying to figure everything out. I decided like in 2019 that I was really just gonna let God just control my life for real, for real.
Right.
Like the old phrase, let go and let God, I really decided to do that and embark on that journey to just learn more about me and stop worrying about everything else for real. And so since then, that's kind of how I got into like this mental health space and wanting to do this and wanting to learn more and help my friends and help people out, because a lot of us, especially black men, don't even consider mental health a thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we don't even think about ourselves for real. And again, like getting into music has brought me way more joy than anything in the world, and I probably would have never learned about so much about myself if I wouldn't have stop playing football, and God just brought me back into it for real, for real.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So that's really all I can say. Like all I can say, bro, is thank God for growth, for real, for real.
Nah, that's beautiful, bro. Like you had no idea. Like
No idea.
you was locked in on football.
Yeah,
You was
locked in for like 11 years.
Right.
11 years, for real, for real.
And you never seen this coming.
No.
See, that's the beautiful thing
That's lit.
about it. And that's usually how it happens. And you never see it coming. And then it's like when you do it, like that confirmation you got from your brother, like, oh, like you're really good and you're going to be better than me. I feel like a lot of times when we really like make our mind up to go into the direction God is pushing us in, God winks at us a bit or smiles at us a bit, like just gives us that confirmation, like yeah, you actually gonna be able to do this. Then the shit get really fucking hard afterwards. But that first little thing is just like
No cap.
Oh God.
yes, but you feel me? You get that confirmation just so you know, like that for me that was fat vegan. Like how that shit came together, it was like, yeah, you can really do this. Like we're your film producer, bro. Like yeah, and then the shit got really hard, and we're here. But you know, but
You made it through though, bro. You handled it. You
yeah,
handled
bro,
it.
we figuring it out, man. What about y'all two, man? Have y'all ever experienced anything like that? Huh?
Yeah. Same thing with him. His my family, I was always big, so it was either football, basketball, a little baseball one time, and I was always thinking about military. So once I got in the military, I was there, and then I was like, okay, I really don't like the military. And then after my surgery, I ain't know what to do. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was in like the worst depression probably in my life. Like in between knowing what I want to do once I'm out of the military, and once I picked up my camera and somebody was like, "You're good," and you gotta understand, like when you first get the camera, nobody ain't gonna tell you like you good like immediately.
Right.
So like for you to have like your brother like calling people, I can only imagine like how you felt like as he was calling everybody was like, "Yo, he hard," because it's like it's like a breakthrough. It's like now I know what I'm about to do for the next 6 months. Because when you don't know what you want to do, bruh, it's even worse.
It's a dark place. It's a dark place, boy.
So, so once I figured out, once everybody started calling me, like, hard, is when I was like, okay, I can take this serious now. Like, now I can start telling my mama, like, yeah, ma, I shoot videos. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel proud of it, for real now.
Right.
So, yeah, it's the same, like, for real.
Yeah, man. What's up,
Man,
y'all?
listen. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible because I just got such a testimony. So I say this. A lot of people that know me for, like, entertainment and, you know, media stuff. And so, like I said, all my life I've been around, like, celebrities, notable people. So it was always like, okay, you know, I could do this. It was like, it was a visibility thing for me. I was like, okay, I'm close in proximity. Maybe God has it this way for a reason. So going to college, everything, even graduating, like, working at a label, working in these spaces where like the label is putting me on their contracts and their budget to like produce their rollout for their albums and stuff. I'm like, I was in these spaces and I realized that like I was unhealthy. I was at my most unhealthiest. So I was like, something's got to give. I'm going to keep on trying to like squeeze myself and be over here, or I'm going to just surrender. And I surrendered. So COVID happened, lockdown happened. I had already like pretty much quit everything or got let go. So I was like, I'm living in Atlanta in this townhome and I don't have a reason to be paying no bills here because I could work anywhere. So I just chose, I was like, I want a new scenery. Chose to move to Jacksonville, became an esthetician, and that it took off. Like similar to you, Clay, like sometimes I used to get mad. I used to tell you, I'm like, why is so many people so more receptive to me being an esthetician versus when I was a publicist? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? It would really frustrate me because it's like, y'all don't see me. And I'm not talking about like my peers because I've always been embraced by my peers like y'all, but like the people who have access who can really help me when it comes to capital and revenue and resources. It's like, y'all don't really care that I'm involved in music or hip hop. It's like shunned upon, looked down on. But as soon as I talk about wellness and skincare and this and that, it's like, y'all just handing me money. Like, I'm like, it was frustrating. So from all the things that I've done, it just led me to myself, like seriously. So I'm just in a space where, you know, self-care, skincare, that's not the only thing I want to do. Like I am a serial entrepreneur. My friend told me yesterday, she's like, you're a trailblazer. Like you literally create the path. Like there's a whole bunch of a forest and you literally create the path. Like that's just, you're a go-getter. I think you called me not a Renaissance woman. No, you called me a Renaissance woman. So it's like everybody just be like affirming me, telling me like, yo, you not going to just do this one thing. I think you told me, Clay, you was like, you kind of build over here, you build over here, you build over here, you build over here, and you creating that foundation. So this is working for you. That's passive income. That's working for you. So I'm just in the space where I'm like, it's going to lead me to something else. Right. Like every door I walk into, I'm meeting people that's going to help facilitate something in my future. So I just had to surrender.
Right.
100% surrender. So that's really why I'm the version of me that I am today, because I just chose to surrender.
Absolutely.
And I stopped letting my ego walk in the door before me.
Amen.
Like,
No, that's
I
real.
gotta walk in with my higher self. Like, I have to, because I'm gonna miss some stuff. If you walk in pompous and you got an attitude, you're gonna miss some key words. Like that word you heard, dichotomy. You probably wouldn't have heard it if you was in your session. Like, oh yeah, I already got my music, I'm good. You wouldn't have been receptive. So I just leave with that. Like, I'm obedient. So
Right.
that's
Let
what
me
it
ask you
is.
a question, Yana.
Yeah.
So like you called it right. You are a serial entrepreneur, and like from you, like even before the showcases, when you were doing radio to the showcases, it's like you were flexing
Yeah,
and working
you've
out.
seen me in a lot of
Right.
different
You were
hats.
working your entrepreneurial skills and talents within those realms. And all of that was in the realm of entertainment.
Right.
And then you challenge yourself and go into a different industry to work out your entrepreneurial spirit skills. And it works. Like, what was that aha moment, that moment where God smiled on you when you got into doing skincare and whatnot and wellness? Like, that moment when it was like, okay, I can do this. And I understand that frustration because we talked about I can do this. So what was that moment for you?
So I got two things. So it was April. This is still April when we're recording this. So the month of April has always been divine for me. Like April is like my new April. I have to. So April of 2020, it was a month in for the lockdown, and I looked in the mirror and I was not happy with what I saw. It was just overall, I was just not happy for a long time, and I was. And then I said, you know what? I want to just learn. Like, everyone was doing like anything pertaining to COVID was either wellness. People was working out. People was eating a lot of greens and talking about veganism and all that. And so I was like, so my outer can reflect that. So I was like, okay, I know what foods to eat. I was eating really clean, but somehow, some way, I was just not happy with how my skin was performing. And I still have my days. So I chose to look into consecutively, I need to change up my scenery.
Right.
So moved to Florida. I didn't even get as approved to the school that I signed up for. I got my apartment, then I got approved for the school. I was just like, that's just how crazy my people that would come to the school, like, you know, you give a discount, and damn near every person that would like be my client, they had like this multitude story. Like, one woman was but you just helped me, and I'm like, I just gave you a facial. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause
Right.
that's just me. People see me, and sometimes I don't see myself. So I'm like, what is she talking about? So then another person to come in. Like, I'm paying attention, like,
Right.
I'm making people's day. So what happened, what really gave me that smile that God gave me, was my sister was going through like just like an episode, like it was a mental episode. She was just not okay, and I remember just thinking like, let me calm her down, let me give her a facial. She slept like a baby. She woke up the next day and she was like, you're a shaman. And I'm like, didn't know what that was.
Right. Oh, wow.
I'm like, what are you talking? Like, everybody just talking to me foreign.
Right, right.
And I'm like, okay. So I Googled it, and it was pretty much like you're a healer. Like, you pretty much are like that person, like that intercessory way where you're able to like understand someone on a spiritual and an energetic level and just kind of usher them into whatever they need to take. You know the code to crack,
Right.
basically. And so I was like, okay, I keep being around people that really need my touch. And like, even today, my client, like, she's going through a hard time, and she was like, Ayana, like, I look forward to my sessions with you. Like, you don't even know. I've had people who was like literally suicidal, people who was going through a domestic abuse. Like, I can get deep, and I don't want to get emotional, but like, I am a healer.
Right.
You feel me? So that's God smiling.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Y'all know I'm emotional. Why would you ask me that question?
I
I'm just
don't
playing.
know, Yana.
That was beautiful.
I'm just kidding.
It's not even
Jesus.
It's not
Tuesday.
lying, though. Every time I go get my sessions, bro, I be feeling good. Like, I'm ready to go.
You trying to get one?
At some point, yeah, do it.
You
I'm so
feel
serious.
me?
Like anything that you
Yeah.
got, like it's not just a facial, it's not just a whatever. It's like it's like a conversation with you and God. Like it's like I'm not even there. It's like I'm just invited in the room for you to have that moment. It's
It's like a self-reflection.
it's divine.
She asked me.
You gotta have
questions,
time
I'm
for
like,
yourself.
I never really thought of myself as a narcissist. No,
What?
that.
Freddie is dark.
This man is hilarious.
But yeah, seriously, like it just no matter what our why is, God is in the center.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So like we just have to be obedient to the like divine plan. Like you said, when you realized that you was kind of going against the plan that was already written before you were even here, it didn't work well for you. You kept on hitting this wall. But the doors over there just go that direction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easier said than done. But when you look at your life, like I look at my life, I look above myself. Like I'm looking down at the landscape of everything. And I'm just like, okay, this how God want the layout to be. I'm over here looking at my rough draft and he got the final plan over here. I'm going to be
Right.
obedient to the final plan because the rough draft ain't even telling me which way to go, left, right. I don't know. So be obedient.
Nah, exactly.
Gotta
And you'll be
listen.
rewarded.
For sure.
Obey. Let me stop.
I want some seafood. I thought you said Old Bay.
Oh man, I used to love Obey seasoning, boy. Oh God. I guess I could still use Obey.
Yeah, you could.
Well, some jackfruit or something.
Yeah. I have a question though, and I
Oh.
don't want it to evade me. Go ahead though. Go ahead. I'm gonna remember. Go ahead.
I was just because I was watching one of his vlogs, and he went to this restaurant and had some weird tofu shit.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
That shit was weird, bro. I hate tofu.
Bruh, first,
It's really
okay.
processed.
Tofu is a weird,
Texture.
like, textured thing.
It's like an
I'm not gonna
eraser.
lie.
It's like a soft eraser.
Kind of, sort of. But the way they cooked it, I went to Flower Child. I know what you're talking about. I went
Yeah.
to Flower Child. Now, the way they cooked it, it tasted like
It's
chicken.
a soft eraser.
Really?
It tasted like chicken, dog.
Man,
But
I don't-
I had a wrap. I'm sorry. I had a wrap that had tofu in it. Same type tofu, cooked the same way. But that wrap was terrible.
Was it?
The wrap wasn't good.
Terrible. What I had in the
bad.
plate, the entree, that was really good. But the wrap, terrible. Terrible.
Man,
Won't do
look,
that
bro.
again.
When I seen that, I was like, bro, I gotta put him on some spots. Now I ain't been to that spot, so I ain't dissing y'all.
What's the name of the place?
Flower Child.
She said, she's
It's
like,
in
what's the name of the
Buckhead.
place? She's like, want all the smoke.
Nah, but they got good food though. Like
No
the
funny
enchiladas that
shit.
she got, busting.
No.
I'm trying to avoid these people.
Listen, only reason I asked because I heard the word flower and I remember the place that we went to.
Yeah.
I forget the name.
Cafe Sunflower.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said. Okay.
I gotta go there too.
You said what it's called?
Flower Child.
Flower Child. Shout out to Flower Child. I'm gonna have to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Show some fat vegan
Y'all
love.
enchiladas is fire.
And
Yeah.
Cafe Sunflower.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, pause.
You in Atlanta.
Yeah, I gotta go there for sure.
Grass fed VBQ joint.
That sounds good.
Black owned spot. Vegan barbecue. On point. Thank me later. Both of y'all.
Okay, all right.
Thank me later.
Okay.
Wait, what's the on the corner MLK? They singing good.
Yeah, man. We in
No,
the
for real.
studio, bro.
We in
Like
the studio.
it
We in
gets
the yo.
busy in here.
We in the yo. This is the first studio I've been to that don't smell like weed. On God.
Man, cause man, Trick ain't having that in here.
Shout out to Trig.
Yes.
But
this-
no question.
What's that?
What's the name of the restaurant you did the episode with Fat Vegan on MLK by CAU?
Oh, Local Green.
Local Green. You been there?
Mm-mm.
It's really
Big
good.
Zach.
It's hip hop inspired. So you should definitely go check it
Yeah,
out.
Big Zach got a show now.
I want to go ahead and like just close the debate. I'm not like vegan. I eat pretty healthy. I
Yeah.
eat very healthy, but I'm not
Likewise.
vegan. Like
Right.
I'll go out to vegan spots because I like eating healthy and having other options.
Man, that's perfect. You
So-
gonna love they salmon
Okay.
sandwich.
Local green and
Yeah.
grass-fed BBQ.
Bro, look here. You want some good
Sponsor us. Thanks.
I
Sponsor us.
appreciate that.
Bruh.
Appreciate that one.
I had a question though.
macaroni and cheese? Boy, that chicken sandwich, that's not a sandwich. That's a sandwich,
Sandwich.
my boy.
Wait, it's real or it's vegan?
It's vegan. It's real though. And it
That's
get
what I meant.
real.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I had a question. I feel like it was for you, Clay.
Okay, what's
But I
that?
feel like anybody can, Wayne, of course, you can answer too. Um, I think when you were talking about like your journey and stuff, um, my question is, do you like look at life as like a game, like a board game, and you like kind of like reaching a certain level, and like you look back at other like levels and you how you powered up and stuff so that you can get to like basically, let me paraphrase, if you were doing music for a certain amount of time, there are so many things that you learn with music, and then you have those transferable skills that you are now able to implement into film, and then it helps you realize that overall what you're doing, like the overhead of what you're doing is production, is administrative work or whatever. So like, do you look at your life like that in order to power up to the next level, or are you just in that present moment and you just like, I'm only here? You when it comes to
Well,
like foresight.
the way I look and feel about it, I feel like I'm already that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I get mad because like my world don't be like reflecting that
You
shit.
wanted to catch up with you.
Yeah, cause like I'm already there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm already a billionaire in my fucking mind. Like legit, I am. But then it's like I'm not here for real yet. It's like damn. Yeah.
But I think, not to answer my own question, but based off what you just said, like I feel that God does that for us so that mentally where we should already be visualizing, you know what I'm saying, before we get to where we go. Because I've been able to see people, I'll just give an example of like a label. Like I've seen people get signed and they get signed, they switch up everything. So they buying the nice cars, they doing this, they doing that. You ain't sell no album, you ain't sell no records yet. So like first year in, you not signed anymore because you didn't abide by your contract, or you just not able to make no sales. You don't have a business mindset, so the mindset was not there. You were able to get what you visualized, but you were not ready for it. So I think it's kind of better to feel that you already that person, so when
Yeah.
it comes, it's like you not gonna lose it because
Right.
you got that mindset, versus you be like,
Facts.
damn, I lost it all.
See the space I'm in now though, like, cause that's would be my trouble. I would see myself as that, and I get mad because my world don't reflect it. Now I'm starting to see and feel like I am that person, but I'm not that person. It's even hard not to say that because I'm that person. It's just I have acquired more skills that help me fully embody that person, I would say, and I'm accepting that now. Because at first it was like, I'm already here, I already got it. Why is, and now it's like, you still got some shit to learn. You still got
That
some
is
lessons.
what, yeah, that's the point I'm
Yeah.
making. So do you resonate with that?
See, with me, I don't really look at my life as in levels or anything. I just think about how I was a year ago. A long time ago, my friend Victor, shout out to him, put me on to thinking about every year as, okay, have you grown since the year before? You know, and even before that, I always think about when I first started music at 19. So the me today, all I gotta do is look back at myself at 19 and say, okay, have I accomplished way more than I thought I was gonna accomplish? I didn't have goals back then, but I knew I wanted to be. So I knew first of all, small goals like producing for artists in Savannah,
Right.
you know, things like that. I've done so much of that. We ain't did nothing yet, but I've
Not
done
yet.
so much of that since then. You know, I think about little small things like that. Like, okay, back then I just wanted to have good mixes on my beats.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to get one person to rap on my song. You feel me? And like, I look at those type of small little things, and I think about like, again, last year to this year. Where was I at last year this time?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
am I better this year than I was last year?
Right.
So that's really kind of how I think about it. And then I kind of think about it like that, like how you think about it. But I don't think about being that person. I just always want to just continue to become.
Right.
You know, I don't want to just think that I'm that person. I just know I'm becoming. Every day I think about how I can be better today to make tomorrow better.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
admire that, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
I have one of my best friends think that way, and I admire that about y'all, bro. Like people who are like really like practical and one step at a time. I'm going to get there. Like I really admire that because my mind do not work that way.
I'm
Man,
the
it took
same
me a
way.
while,
I'm
bro.
the same way.
I definitely suffered. Like last year, I finally understood that I was going through a lot of what is it, imposter syndrome? Yeah, like thinking one thing and not feeling like how my mind is actually thinking of myself, you know,
Right.
or people telling me something that I don't believe. You know what I mean? Like people, for instance, before now, people would, you know, praise the music that I make and things like that, and I'm happy, you know, about those praises, the accomplishments, accolades, things like that. But before, I couldn't accept it because I couldn't. Like,
Wow.
I'm just like, am I? You know what I mean? Like, am I really that good? You know what I mean? Like, I really wasn't accepting of it, you know. And it took a few months after I really understood where I was and I was present. I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with this. I need to get better with that. And once I started dealing with it and started getting better with it and started like actually taking one day at a time, it's like, no, like I am that. You know,
Right.
I am continue to become better every single day at what I do. And I really appreciate, first of all, her helping me, you know, understand that and coming to grips with the fact that I was suffering or like going through an imposter syndrome, and I actually worked on it to get better at it and understanding who I am. You know what I mean? Fully and embracing the person that I'm becoming. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
So yeah.
Man, no, I feel you,
feel
bro.
that.
And
I have a question.
That's the key.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I was really gonna see what Freddy had to say about that.
Yeah.
Look
What's
at
on your
him.
mind? What's on
I
your
was gonna
heart?
ask him what was next.
Okay.
Now that he know, you know what I'm saying?
So he just deflecting.
Plaques.
You said what?
Plaques. Plaques.
I feel that.
I'm sorry you caught up on this insider. It's just Freddy. We're gonna let it slide this time, Freddy.
I missed it. What
I
happened?
missed it too.
You did?
Yeah.
It's okay. Never mind.
I guess it's inside between y'all two.
No, I don't even know.
I think they're Aries twins.
I don't even know what you're talking
So what I'm talking about is we all just share how we felt about the way we see our lives as we progress, and we all answered it. Then when it's my boy Freddy turn, he was like, "Yeah, so what
He's
was?"
flowing. He's flowing.
I didn't think nobody was asking me that.
I wanted to know, man. I want to know your process, man.
My process?
Yeah, how you think about life? Do you see it as you leveling up? Like, how do you see your life as you
I
progress,
see
bro?
my life as finding the next thing to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing sticks.
Your statement didn't even change from 2 minutes ago to now, really.
I'm gonna stick it to it. Because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't grow up saying, oh, I was gonna be the best videographer,
Right.
photographer. Hell, I was recording fight videos and putting them in compilations in high school. Like, I don't care. I never cared
Do
about.
you not realize
You were editing.
that you
This
were
man was
already-
editing in high school.
You were
That's
already. You was just fine tuning your magic.
That's wild, bro. I didn't know that.
I was
Wasn't
planting a
fun.
seed.
That wasn't fun.
But you know
what
it's
I mean?
not fun
Bro,
because
this
now you
man
have a
was
reference
editing.
point of what is fun.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not stuck to it. You know what I mean? I
Right.
love photography more than I love videography. I feel like videography is just too much. So it's like, I'm cool with getting on set and being whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever I
A
feel
still
like I like to do.
photographer.
Yeah.
I might be. I was talking to him the other day. He was like, "Yes, a guy that's controlling like what is it, like a remote control, like
The gaffer.
gaffer, like a remote control, like an electric one."
Well, what you
effects?
talking about? What equipment?
It was.
Because I seen you a lot of shit.
It was
bro.
like a dolly, like an electric dolly
Oh yeah.
that you didn't have to push.
Oh yeah. You talking about the little the crane?
Yeah, the dude that you
Oh,
was talking
yeah.
to. I was like, bruh, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, he was controlling the crane. He wasn't like he was way away from it, like controlling the camera like you playing a video game.
Right. And you
And
know,
the-
I like games.
Yeah.
I like cameras. That might be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's what I'm saying. Whatever life takes me. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm trying to get on set.
Yes,
That's just
man.
where I'm at.
I feel that.
Wherever the movie sets take me, hell, I could be doing lighting next year. Who knows?
That's lit.
Whatever's
That's lit.
fun.
That's lit.
I appreciate
So,
that too.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real, though.
I appreciate that. That
We
point
all
of
have
view,
different
bro.
perspectives.
For real.
But we all still obedient, which is
Right.
dope,
At
which
the
is
end of the
really
day.
cool. But I want to ask you, you know, as you say, thank God for growth. So I can tell now with the backstory of you, like where that kind of comes from, because it sounds like an affirmation for you. So you also have a podcast too. So can you tell our listeners about your podcast, Thank God for Growth, and like what they can expect from that?
It's coming back soon, what you can expect. That's first.
Okay.
But yeah, so Thank God for Growth was originally a podcast that I came up with by myself, but I figured I needed another person to help me kind of like ease the. I can't look at a camera for 45 minutes and just talk, about whatever's on my heart. But kind of like how you guys talk about mental health and things like that. I wanted to bring a light because I had situations in my life where I just, kind of didn't know who to talk to about it. And just like how I just been talking about just mental health this whole time, I never had a platform to talk about it or learn about it or anybody in my life who was really doing or talking about it. So I just was like, well, let me talk about it. Let me talk about everything that I've been through, that I learned, and it progressed into us talking about what we're learning in our daily lives and using that as a using our podcast as a platform to basically speak to the progression, of our journey. Because I love podcasts where the people who are talking are kind of like masters at what they do. But at the end of the day, I like people who are growing, who are growing. That's why I love you guys' podcast, because you guys are telling your story as you go, and y'all podcast is going to grow with y'all. And I like that. I like the progress, and that's kind of why I created it. I wanted to basically tell my story and hopefully inspire somebody else with my story. And same with Major. He not here yet. Shout out to my boy Major.
Shout out to Major.
I hope
That's my road
we
dog.
can get him on the podcast too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For sure.
That's kind of where the podcast came from. Just wanting to speak to mental health and wanting to speak about how the things that I've learned in my life have brought me to here. That's why I want to bring it back, because I've been through a lot since the podcast. We haven't recorded the last podcast, but since then I learned a lot. So I really want to get back into it. And that's kind of why I got into vlogging too.
I think your podcast and our podcast is what strengthened our friendship, because I feel like you and I, we've always been cool. I think we both went to Windsor.
Yeah.
And so as time progressed, we just see each other out and about. And I think when we went to Atlanta, all three of us went to Atlanta for the Duality video shoot. We went to Clay James and Friends concert, and you were there with Ethan, and I saw you real quick, and I dapped you up, whatever, and I got your number. And since then, we just been sending each other affirmations or just words of encouragement and stuff. I've been listening to your podcast yo, that was a dope episode. Same thing over here. So with that being said, I do want to know, you spell thank God for growth the number 4. So what is the symbolic reason for the FOUR as opposed to FOR?
Because it was 4 areas in my mind that I was thinking of when I came up with it. Really, it come from Savannah 4, and I kind of wanted to symbolize that in my own way. But it's mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. And so
I love that.
That's where it kind of comes from. And without those 4 areas of growth, I mean, how can we grow? It starts with the spiritual, honestly, then mental, emotional, physical at the end of it.
Right.
And so that's kind of where it came from.
I like that.
And what sparked that for you, that need to grow, and that led you into even being more open to mental health? Because a lot of people don't have that, or they're not in that space to think about self-improvement or growing or mental health. What sparked that to you, and why is it so important for you?
I hope this not super long, but
good, bro. Tell
but
your story.
So as I told you guys, I really didn't know kind of who I was without football. You know what I mean? So throughout that journey of me playing football, it's kind of an angry kid. You know what I mean? So I kind of use football to kind of take my anger out. You know what I mean? And so in 2014, when I was playing football at Ron University, me and one of my coaches got into a very heated argument to the point where I kind of wanted to get into a fight with him. Whole time, didn't know this. Coach was playing.
Wow.
Playing. Literally just wanted to get me out of my comfort zone. I had done stormed off and everything. I never apologized to that man. And in 2016, he passed away trying to save somebody in a house fire.
Wow.
And from that moment on, once that happened, I was like, I can't ever hold on to grudges, or I can't ever be that angry ever again. To the point where I can't call him. I had his number in my phone, because we would talk while I was playing. We would talk. I'd tell him, about how I'm feeling and things like that. He was cool, really, really cool. But after that, after that incident when he passed away, I just had to make it a complete 180, because I was like, nah, I'm all positive from here on out. I just got to learn how to, deal with my anger in a better way and just become a better person, not only to the outside world but to myself.
Right.
You know, and I kind of started it then, and then throughout college, like when I would talk to people, people would just tell me all the time about how like I would just impart words of just positivity and just life into them. You know, like people would come to me for advice on things that I honestly never been through, or I might have been through it a little bit, but what I would give them would kind of like change their whole trajectory, change like their whole mood and things like that. And just from talking to them, you know, it kind of made me want to self reflect and understand more about me. And again, in 2019, I just decided, you know, to just let God take control. I grew up in the church, you know, but you know how that go, man. I really didn't have my own relationship with God. So in 2019, I just decided I'm gonna stop. Like I'm gonna stop trying to control everything. I don't like trying to control everything because it's not really in my control. You know what I mean? And from that moment on, like I was nervous about graduating college. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and after I made that switch, like I graduated the same year. You know, I was able to actually make some of my best music ever at the time, of course. Started connecting with more and more people. Just felt just way better than I ever felt in my life, you know? Like just so many things just started just coming on and on and on. It's like just I don't know, man. God just completely turned my life around from that time on. Like as time keeps progressing, I just keep learning more and more about myself, learning more and more about God, and just intertwining the two, and just continuing to live not for myself but for God. Like I can really be all of these great things and all of these like producer, podcaster, blogger, whatever, you know, but really none of that stuff means anything if I don't thank God for growth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's just how I feel.
received that fully. Like that was powerful. And I feel like all of us have a gift from God, and I think one of the gifts that I have sharpened is like just like how God can speak through me and stuff like that. So I feel that your coach, because I remember you posting about that, I feel like intuitively that your coach is proud of you. I feel like your coach is happy that he was the vessel to get you to be on this new trajectory, and like it's okay. You feel what I'm saying? And like you through your actions and like what you're devoted to, that's like enough forgiveness. Like that is like the I forgive you. You didn't ask for forgiveness, but like through your route that you take in, like how God is like, I'm going to open this door, that door, you had to surrender, and like that was the apology, and there was an acceptance. So I want you to always know like you're good, because there's a realm here and there's another realm, and like we can communicate. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if you follow where I'm going, but on an ancestral level, he's with you. He walks with you, and he's proud of you. So continue to grow, because now you are someone else's coach. You understand? Like you have to coach someone else. So teach them through your journey and your lessons, and just be that vessel. Like just keep going. Keep going. And I'm gonna stop there, because y'all know I get into it. So
No, for real.
Wow,
yeah, but
really
you're
appreciate
forgiven.
that.
You're forgiven. God blesses his people. God blesses his people. You forgiven.
I told you, Trill, we was gonna get deep in you now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I had to share that.
Damn. Damn, I really appreciate that. Really.
Absolutely. I done finished my damn pineapple juice. Listen, sometimes we gonna have those deep moments that we laugh about it, but I definitely want you to know that like in every move you make, every step you make, you are with God and God is with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can do no wrong. And another thing I would say for the listeners and for you, when you lead with love, you will never lose. You will never lose. You had to take the muffle off your ears to hear and to see and to be. So, like, you were a kid. You are a man now. So, it's like, thank God for growth. You feel me? Thank God for growth.
Drop the mic on the end.
Thank God for growth.
Whew. Man, that's beautiful right there.
Ashe.
Ashe.
I know what to expect from this, but this was therapy right there.
See,
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
This is therapy. You got to
No,
get a
for
facial,
real.
bro. Just a facial. Listen, this is a self-care episode.
Yeah, come on now. Be good to you. The Be Good to You podcast,
Yes.
powered by the Be Good to You Foundation,
Yes.
baby. This is what we do, and this is why we, from now on, we putting all the guests next to Ayana. So when y'all cry, she right there.
I'm going to cry with you.
She gonna cry with you.
Big Cancer energy.
Yes.
True.
Man, I appreciate you, Trill, for coming on and
I
sharing your
really appreciate
story.
y'all having me, man.
Likewise.
Yes.
This was fun.
For real,
This
for
was
real.
in divine time.
Yeah, it is, man. And we gotta cook,
Damn.
bro.
No, for real, bro.
We gotta
have
cook.
to.
It's time.
It's really that time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, man. And thank
Excited.
y'all for coming and showing up and sharing y'all stories and y'all truths as always. And thank you to the beautiful listeners and viewers out there who are supporting us with your time and your energies. Continue to support us and watch us and listen and share it with your friends and their families. And we're just going to keep on delivering, man,
Yes.
and being real and genuine and authentic for you guys. And with that being said,
Be
good to you.